think we're good to go. G'day guys and girls. Welcome back to the Race Spec Esports channel. It is Tuesday night, which means it's the Regional Leagues night. We're back once again for the Pacific Series on the PlayStation. We're tier number 3 of the season, and with only 3 races to go, this championship is really hotting up in tier 3, so pretty much anything is possible. I dare say that this championship fight is going to go all the way to the finale at Brazil. But apologies for the little different image that you can see on your screen. I didn't, but when you see this, unfortunately, I didn't have the picture in time before starting the stream. But hopefully when I do the next stream, which will be about 8:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time, I'll hopefully have it updated for you. But round number 13 takes us to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. 5.87 kilometers or 3.608 miles. Just the one DRS zone down the front straight. Pretty simple, really. 18 corners, 8 to the left and 10 to the right. I think that's right. Yes, it is. The only figure 8 circuit as well on the F1 2020 calendar. There's another view of it, as you can see. But let us dive straight into the action, shall we? And as you can see here, we've got 14 runners with us tonight, but I'll mention it a little bit later on. There's a few championship contenders that are not here racing with us tonight as well. But a good turnout under clear skies here at Suzuka. You never know sometimes with Suzuka whether the weather could play a factor in this race, but obviously not for qualifying. We never know. The race could turn out to be interesting, but we'll have to wait and see. But do let me know down in the live chat as well. Good evening to everyone, or good morning or afternoon, wherever you are watching around the world. Do let me know. I've made a few little audio, audio changes. You know, just while I was yesterday just doing a bit of mucking around and just testing a few things out. I made a few changes to see whether I could make the gaming audio a little bit louder for you guys and girls so you can hear the engines instead of just me yelling on. But I've also made some changes to my mic as well, so I'm probably not yelling at the mic too much. But do let me know whether whether I still need to do any more changes. But this is probably all building up to the next game in F1 2021, which is only in a couple of months' time, really. But like I said, we've got 14 runners here with us tonight. Again, there's a couple of guys that not got any gamer tags showing. But that's Artie Cheng's we're currently looking at in the AlphaTauri. And I think he's coming into the pit lane. I could be wrong. Yes, he is. So, and the other one being, I think that's Power Sight in the McLaren there as well. So they're the only 2 gamer tags that you cannot see. But like I was mentioning before, we'll go quickly through the lineup of them. As currently at the moment as the graphic. No, it's not playing up for me tonight, so that's a good sign. Got Rip the Beans in the Mercedes tonight. Obviously, seems to be, I think someone mentioned it in the Tier 3 chat earlier on, that seems to be a bit of a rotating thing at, hang on, let me see if I can just quickly find what was said in the tier chat. But, where is it here? I'll get onto those standings after this tier as well. So just give me one moment, please, ladies and gentlemen. Who will be... where is it? Who said it? Yeah, Steve actually mentioned it, saying if Mercs have been a revolving door this season. And it's probably true, considering, well, I think, I can't remember who was his teammate previously, considering I've only done the last few races. But I know CRL Pocket Rocket was racing last week, but only did the one race. I don't know whether he was going to get a penalty or not after Steward's inquiries, but excuse me. That he's since left the server, and I don't know whether he'll be coming back or not. So, yeah, look, we'll wait and see. Oh, I've just seen what the weather's like in the race as well, so this should be exciting. So he currently leads with a 127.109 at the top of the standings. Got Chubasaurus Rex, who is their championship leader, like I thought he would be after last week. He's currently second in a 27.622. Got Ash there in position 3. 27.728. Looks like he's just about to start a fly here. We've got Artie Cheng's there in 4th. Got MJJ in the Red Bull in 5th. We've got Stig in 6th. Power Sight in 7th. So somebody's just jumped into the top 9. That's Johnny, the one that's just jumped in position 6. So very nice job from him. And we also got WA Hunters with a 129, 135. Still waiting to learn to see Galaz, Pup Mastiff, TCF Oldboy, and Honest Crook to set a lap time here. See if we could maybe go for a lap while we're aboard with somebody here later on. Ash is a 10th down by the look of it at sector 1. So it might be Artie Cheng's who's actually on an outlap here. Is he the closest car we've got? I think Lunacy's just about to finish his first flying lap here. As he goes into second spot. Very nice lap time from him. Well, let's see if we can actually get right aboard for a lap around Suzuka here for the Japanese Grand Prix with Artie Cheng's in the AlphaTauri. Flat out into turn 1 as all the drivers make their way. Pretty much nearly flat through the way into turns 1 and 2. Now the tricky S section begins as there's yellow flags already. Well, there's a long sector 3 reminder, so although that was partly sector 2 and 3, so I don't know why. Just going to literally have the nice flow-on effect through this S curves here. Now through the Dunlop curve, through turn 7. Pretty nice through there, avoiding all the curbs by the looks of things. Now the Degno's at turn 8. Want to take those either flat, you just have a little bit of a lift off. Now through turn 9, the second Degna. Up through turn 10 into probably one of the slowest corners of the track at the turn 11 hairpin. You want to be careful here because you can lose the back end coming out of this corner. You just see he nearly loses there as Garlas is retired. And the looks of it, he's off the road, yeah. So it might not be the only time we see that happening around his track. Now it's through Spoon Curve, very famous that corner. And now get a good run out of here. Now go up onto this long straight here. The lineup 130R, which is pretty much flat out through here as he goes purple in the middle sector. Whether that's actual fact or not, I don't know. And now break it down into the Casio Triangle as he gets it nicely through there. And then you take the shortest run to the line to avoid the pit wall across the line and stays pretty much where he was in position 5. But he did improve at a 6.76, I think it was for Artie Cheng, so not too bad of a lap there all round. And still Rip the Beans currently leading the way at the moment as one of the Mercs is just off the road here. That's me power sight. Want to get too much grass on those tyres, pal. That's just obviously trying to avoid traffic. Pump Mastiff, I think, just jumped into 3rd position there with a nice lap. Moving to 27.3. I think Ash as well. I've missed that somewhere along the line. He's jumped into 2nd spot as well as he just comes into the pit lane. There's Chubasaurus Rex, who is our championship leader by literally only 1 point. Now, the reason I was mentioning him earlier is because he's a good opportunity, as there's Pup Mastiff just pulling out of the road here. This man has a good opportunity to extend his championship lead because you can probably tell 2 of his nearest championship rivals, which are Smeg in the other Racing Point, who's not here, and Ascuna Matata in the Renault is not here either. So that's his 2 nearest championship rivals. Ten Lunacy's the next probably championship rival, who's currently 4th in the standings and 4th on the racetrack as it stands. It's yeah, he has a good opportunity to take advantage and gain a bit of a points lead going into the last 2 races of the season, which of course being Monaco and Brazil. Jimmy James, audio's good, mate. I've maybe bumped game audio up by 10-15%. Yeah, I'm doing my best here at the moment, so you can tell. Can I bump it up even more? I don't know. Probably, can I do it on the run? Let's see if we can get it up a bit more. I don't really want to go too loud here, so this is on 10 at the moment. Hopefully it's not too bad. See, Chubasaurus Rex just bumps into 3rd with a 27.335, so a very nice lap time from him. Just excuse one moment. Okay, we're back. I was just checking the audio volumes there, so I've gone up 4, but up like 4 decibels, a little bit, up to 10. So, I mean, we're still a work in progress here. I was obviously just trying to find a way so I can get the gaming audio up a little bit louder on PlayStation, but obviously not try and deafen me on the headphones. So, it's a little bit different, as Honest Crook has been disqualified. What has he been disqualified for? I've missed this somewhere. Going the wrong way, okay. It's probably just one of those unfortunate things where it happens, as it just shows up on the graphic now. So, lovely stuff, Cody's. You do love to see it. So we've got under 3 minutes left to go in the quality session. Checking out, agree with Hungry Honey Badger. I think I recognise your name somewhere along the line. Sponsor logos overlapping F1 2020. Well, of course, the Pacific Series, is, if you haven't known, is sponsored by the Go. What is it? I can't remember. Go Workplace Training, as always. Pacific Series is always sponsored by Go Workplace Training, so we thank them as always for sponsoring. So that's probably why you're seeing them down there. I know it's sort of overlapping a little bit, but it's probably one of the best spots I could have it. Really, I mean, I mean, this thing's still a work in progress. Let's be honest. So hopefully it'll be rectifying things a little bit later on. I'm actually surprised, James, you're not doing double duty once again, considering you've done the last 2 races in Tier 3, doing double duty as well with Tier 4. So, well, obviously, we're going to go 3 in a row tonight here in Japan. Just focusing on the one side of things, but it's a little bit better now. Very nice. So, Johnny is in the P3 at the moment. I missed that somewhere. So, getting into the last minute and 30 seconds here. Can anybody else stop Rip the Beans at the moment? He sits at 26.767 currently at the moment, so still holding on for the time being. Let's see. That's the gap by 4.5 seconds. 4.5 tenths, not 4.5 seconds. God, where am I going off the rails here? Over Lunacy, who's just jumped into second spot again by the looks of it. So he might have just done his final run. Ash looks like he's just starting his last run here. So there's not much time left. Let's see, I'm just trying to work out who's going to do a lap. Johnny is still flying, but at the moment, this TCF Old Boy just nice job puts himself on the front row of the grid. But let's get back to this one. A 27.104, nice lap from him. As Johnny's now in the pit lane, and I would dare say he's going to retire. So Garlo's and Honest Crook are going to be starting from the back of the field. Those two. So Lunacy is done, I think. Ash is still on a flyer. So these guys will be absolutely giving it their all to try and get to the line. These, who's the last one? Artie Cheng's might be absolutely flying it here, but doubtful now that he's going to make it to the control line here. I think Say can be set for Chuposaurus Rex. There might be a few guys that might get caught out here, and that might be their lap times done and dusted. Yep, they're not going to make it, so they're done. So there's a Johnny, Chuposaurus Rex. Obviously, Johnny's in the pit lane. Artie Cheng's can't do it. MJJ, I think, just missed out on getting to the line. So who's the first one? I think it's going to be Power Sight by the looks of things. As he cut across the line here in 12th. He goes to 11th, so it doesn't improve his lap time. As Lunacy comes into the pit lane. Where's Ash? He's invalidated. And he wouldn't have improved by the looks of it, so it looks like he's made an error somewhere along the line. So he drops into 4th spot here. Oh, yeah, kick butt. Of course, yeah, kick butt Kiwi. I forgot. Oh, sorry, I was thinking someone else completely different there. TCF Old Boy just goes quicker, but can't get into the... close to Rip the Beans here, who looks like he's going even quicker at the moment through Sector 2. He's gone purple again. Let's see if he can nail this Casio triangle here. If he can improve his lap time, he'll be looking on track for that pole position. Let's see where he goes here. The 26, yes, he does, a 26.5. Takes one step closer. What about his teammate, Putman Steve? Can he make himself even more closer to the front of the grid as he runs out of here, crosses the line, goes the front row of the grid, so it's a Mercedes lockout. You'll love to see it here, folks. Pretty much similar to what we saw last week with a Mercedes 1-2, even though I think penalties afterwards would probably cost them the 1-2, but his WA Hutton's going to be finishing the control line in position number 9. So, we have our grid, ladies and gentlemen, for the Japanese Grand Prix. So it's Rip the Beans, who's back as I think he's just a reserve driver. I'm not actually sure. But he gets pole position with a 126.513, 3.5 tenths of a second clear over his teammate, Putman Steve. So I think that's the first 1-2 that I've seen in inter-team wise. So very nice job from those guys. TCF Old Boy in 3rd, Lunacy in 4th, Ash in 5th, Johnny in 6th, Chubasaurus Rex, the championship leader, in 7th, although he's probably still take advantage and get some points as much as he can while he's got it. We got Artie Cheng's in 8th, WA Huddins in 9th, and MJJ runs out in 10th, and 11th is Power Sight, Stig in 12th, and Garlaz. And Garlaz with no time set obviously crashed out, and Honest Crook got himself disqualified. So all these guys sort themselves out for what strategy they'll go on. I'll take a little breather, and we'll be back with you shortly. All right, we are back. So it's still after last week's, obviously after last week's race, or sorry, before last week's race, it is still 1 point in the championship, but it's flipped around now with Chubasaurus Rex now having that 1 point advantage over Smeg, who I said is not here. So it's a good opportunity for Chubasaurus Rex to take advantage while his other contenders are not here. The same can be said for Schooner Matata, who's also not here. Lunacy is currently 4th, so he's still recovering. So he may make a bit of ground in this race as well. We've got Pumper Stiff there. He's just in there. Oh, he's in there thereabouts as well, so don't rule him out. But still pushing off of that top 5. He's getting really close in that championship. Artie Chengs is in 6th at the moment. Stig in 7th. Metz is in 8th, who is not racing with us tonight as well. We've got Honest Crook in 9th, who's a reserve. Looks like things, and Ash rounds out your top 10, and then you can see where everybody is up and down the field. I'll do that very quickly. You can probably pause the video if you want to have a look back at it later on. But constructors, you can probably tell in the background, you can get an idea of what the conditions are. Renault have a good advantage in the constructors' standings, 280 points. That's, what is it, numbers? 48 points clear of racing points, so they've got a good advantage at the moment. Williams in 3rd on 209, and Mercedes in 4th on 159. AlphaTauri in 5th on 148. Haas in 6th on 121, just a point ahead of Alfa Romeo in 7th on 120. McLaren in 8th on 106, and Ferrari with 91 in 9th, and Red Bull in 10th on 85. So still plenty of battles to go right up and down this season. So as you can see here, we've got an intermediate start here for the race, so we should be in for some entertainment, I dare say. Hopefully not too many big crashes like we had last week, but which brought a couple of safety cars. We were just having a look at the chat. All this sort of stuff. Tipping Artie for the win here, or Crook from the back. Yeah, that's from Kickbutt. Move the F1 2020 logo. Yeah, I'll probably have to think about it or look into that sort of thing. Back Lunacy, have a good session. Yeah, did get an invite. Did see Head Stewart said don't join mid-sessions. I suspect some combos have been had for double-duty drivers. Potentially, although saying that, Garlows is racing, so I don't know what the goes there. Only for the comms, Roscoe, much appreciated. Yeah, thanks, Kickbutt. Really appreciate it. Able to help out when I can. And I'll be doing, obviously, double duty again, but this time in Tier 1, because obviously since Smeg is not here, they needed a commentator, and I accepted the offer from Matt to to commentate Tier 1, so I'm going to take full advantage of it. Why not? As here we go. Looks like we've got the 5 red lights on here for the Japanese Grand Prix. And away we go. Looks like a good start by Rip the Beans there off the line. His teammate is going to be under attack there from TCF Oldboy to turn 1. As he goes for the move into turn 1. As he goes side by side as Lunacy runs out very wide. I think we've relatively got through there. Clean. It's a good start from the Haas driver there. I think we're relatively through clean. You can see drivers side by side here. Want to be taken very cautiously on very cold intermediates as we go in the mid-pack here with one of the Alfa Romeos. I'm going to believe that's Garlaz. So you see the predicted pit stop strategy. As always, inters all wet, so I don't know whether it's going to dry out later on or not, but looks like everybody's kept it cleanly there. Actually, big loser, a lot of looks of it. Looks like Power's side, he's back down to 14th. So he started from 11th position from memory. But still Rip the Beans there from position 1. But TCF Oldboy putting a bit of pressure. You can see getting sideways coming out of the corner. It's going to be tricky with the wet weather conditions as well as WA Huttons and Stick, I think, were switching positions. But I think WA Huttons was hanging on for now. As you can see, there'll probably be a few fuel light indicators on. You can probably see in the bottom right of screen. Obviously, the drivers want to have too much fuel up their sleeve during the wet weather conditions. Although saying that, you probably want to have a little bit up your sleeve just in case if it's wet dry, but I don't really know the wet weather conditions. As we come through 130R for the first time. Not quite flat in these conditions. So Garlaz and Stick look like they've switched positions. I think it's going to be very, very cautiously through there, but I think everybody looks like they've got through cleanly. As we end lap number 1 here at the Japanese Grand Prix. Rip the Beans sits to 143.5 on the first flying lap here. Nice margin, 0.6 of a second. Obviously no DRS in these wet weather conditions as the lap 2 glitch always happens here. But thankfully it hasn't affected it too badly, I don't think. It's Lunacy and Chubasaurus Rex. Where is he? I'm trying to look for him here. Here he is around the outside. I'm trying the outboard shot here. They're going side by side through the S section. It's very tricky. But he gets around the outside as well. Does Chubasaurus Rex, which obviously will turn to the inside for the next corner. So he's up into 4th now. Which I think he's made up a few spots here. Let me just, where am I looking at here? There we go. Yes, he's up 3 spots here as, yep, graphic always glitches out every single time. So just bear with it. It'll come back in a second. Now putting Stig up the top there and it'll get there eventually. I think we're now back as to normal. So yeah, Chubasaurus Rex up 3 spots already from his starting spot. Oh, TCF Oldboy went very wide there by the looks of things. Made a big error. That's going to cost him margin, I think. There's MJJ. Is yellow flag? Is there yellow flags? No, there isn't. So MJJ's dropping back a few spots here. And to back to 13th spot. So he's dropped now a couple of spots. That's not the one I'm looking for here. I think the graphic may have just glitched out a little bit as well. I don't know what the go is there. I'm trying to rectify it, but it might have to wait till probably the end of this lap here. Oh, well, it's actually still saying it's lap 3, so that probably is why. But a good margin by the look of it for Rip the Beans at the moment in the Merc. But TCF Oldboy's under attack from the other Mercedes of Pup Steve, and you can probably include Chubasaurus Rex in there as well. And hopefully the timing thing fixes itself up in a second as he sets a 141.424 fastest lap. There we go, 1.8 seconds the margin. As we've got Johnny and Ash, I think, switch positions. Otherwise, Ash just made an error, so Johnny up into 6th. Usually with these, if it's going to stay wet for the majority of this, so obviously on intermediate tyres, usually you want to probably get around half the race distance to make this sort of strategy work. So you probably save your tyres a little bit here just to try and get to that window, but it's pretty much a simple one-stop strategy should it stay dry. You see probably the fastest lap times way to and fro a little bit as well. Depends on who's got the early pace and then the mid to late race pace. So we'll wait and see on that one. It looks pretty clean up the front at the moment. So the gap's just starting to come back a little bit. So TCF Oldboy just might be starting to find his rhythm again. He's just starting to pull away from Papa Steve. He's still in the Mercedes sandwich. Chubasaurus Rex there in 4th. So he's ahead of Lunacy, who's his nearest other rival. Championship rival, I should say. Lunacy obviously 4th in the standings. There's Johnny in 5th, yellow flags. It's WA Huttons. That's around. He's gone for a big spin there at the spoon curve. He's either got tangled up with somebody or maybe touched the curb and gone for a spin, but he's way down the field now in 14th. Lost a lot of margin there. We're probably banking on a safety car now. Still about the 1 second bracket. It's sort of toing and froing a little bit. As now TCF Old Boys just found a bit of pace with a 40.605. So good pace from the Haas driver. Let's have a look here. So you can see first man into the 140s as well. So very nice lap time from him. So he's probably starting to eke into that margin a little bit more. Probably depend a little bit on setup as well. So you want to keep it a little bit, obviously, for the straights, and obviously keep it a little bit for this sort of S section corners as well. That's not the graphic I was looking for. This one I'm looking for. There we go. As Ash and Johnny are still switching positions here, so Johnny must have made a mistake coming through the Dunlop curve. And he's lost a spot there to Ash, so they keep toing and froing their positions. In the background, I think Artie Chengs and Garlaz are fighting as well. So now Garlaz has just pulled away. Here's Honest Crook. He's way slowly through the field up to 11th after his disqualification in qualifying earlier on. Slowly but surely making his way through the field. Step back aboard here with these guys. Sort of there or thereabouts between these guys. The 0.9 of a second actually between, although saying that's a second back to Pump Stiff there in third. And into the Dunlop, not the Dunlop curve, the Casio Triangle, the infamous corner, where of course, remember the two teammates colliding way back in the good old days. Jabosaurus Rex is starting to close in a little bit on Pump Stiff. See the rain light on, obviously will be flashing like hell in the back there of the car as he goes very wide there into turn one. This may take it. Jabosaurus Rex will take advantage of this, and I think he will. Yes, he does. So a little bit of an error there for Pup Stiff. So now Jabosaurus Rex up onto the podium now. Now we can try and chase after the two in front, being TCF Old Boy and Rip the Beans. Still leads the way. It just doesn't take much. You just get out of the wheel works or miss your braking a little bit. Could cost you, and it has for Putler Steve. So he's back to fourth. He might have to just try and get back into his rhythm a little bit to try and get back into it. You see Lunacy getting loose in the back end. Coming out of the second Degner. So the second on back to Ash, who's actually starting to pull away from Johnny. So Johnny doesn't look like he's got the pace at the moment in the inters. Just having a look through the chats. Race late charge in the market as Hunter's Crook for a podium. So I'll hold you to that one. He's currently in position 11. He's actually all over the back of the McLaren of Stig. Ash just putting a bit of pressure on Lunacy, who in turn might be just starting to close into the back of Pumper Stiff there. Garlaz and Artie Chengs as Chapasaurus Rex sets the fastest lap of the race now with a 40.448, so he's showing his pace now. Just got to quite get the drive out of the corner there, can Honest Crook, so have to bide his time for now. Back Garlaz is in the end closer, no, not really, so just started to pull their margins a little bit more. And don't be deceived by his non-existent race pace, so yeah, I'll hold you to that one. Light rain for a while, according to Jeff, that ever-reliable oracle. That never is a good thing, whether it's actually going to stay wet or not. I've got to assume, kick butt, you into a party with one of these guys that might know, so the only way you can find out is, here we go, side by side, into the gravel, goes Honest Crook. And yeah, fair enough, I think from Stig there, probably just felt it was a little bit unfair, so he lets him have that one. Obviously, without trying to get himself a penalty later on post-race. So Honest Crook now into 10. Now you can see we can try and chase after Garlaz in the Alfa Romeo. We're back at, it's 0.6 of a second, well, actually 0.7 of a second now, so it's just slowly coming down here at the moment. Between TCF Old Boy, though straight line speed might be the thing here for Rip the Beans. He just runs a little bit wide, or into the grass goes TCF Old Boy. Don't want to go out too far there. Otherwise you bring Chubosaurus Rex back into the mix. Probably don't be too surprised if maybe somebody tries an undercut here to try and get an advantage on track. Not quite there yet for the pit window, but we're not too far away. 1.3 seconds now, but the margin might be just toing and throwing here a little bit as there's Chubosaurus Rex in third. It's Pup Mastiff still in fourth. Head of Lunacy in fifth, who's just coming out under a bit of attack from Ash behind in sixth. And it's Johnny still in seventh. Artie Cheng's in eighth. So it goes Alpha, I just realised. Alpha Romeo, Alpha Tauri. Then of Artie Cheng's, and Alpha Romeo of Garlos, and then Alpha Tauri of Honest Crook in 10th. Can't believe I just said two Alphas in one go. But then it's Stig in 11th, and MJJ in 12th, Powerside 13th, and WA Hutton's 14th as TCF Old Boy picks up the first time penalty of the race. It's taken us 7 and a bit laps, but we've finally got a time penalty. This track can be known to serve up a few time penalties, mainly through the Degner curves, and probably where else can you get a penalty? Probably if you run wide here at the Spoon curve, which is on board here with TCF Old Boy. Yellow's in the second sector. That's a Red Bull of MJJ who's off the road. I missed that somewhere along the line, whether he's done this by himself or somebody's tangled with him, I don't know, but he's now back into last position here. If you run wide as well, coming through the 130R or even through the Casio triangles, you can see the Haas is right onto the back of that Mercedes now. So he tries to get the better drive out of the corner here, but not really quite close enough here. Remember, they'll be both using air overtake, as that's Artie Cheng's another, the second person to get a 3-second time penalty. As he goes in very deep there, he might just lose a little bit of margin here. That's TCF Old Boy, which he will. He just outbraked himself a little bit there. Well, I got the opportunity. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and a big smash on that like button as well if you're enjoying the live stream. Don't forget as well, I don't actually know whether there's actually... Well, I know for a fact I'm doing Tier 1 after this race, which will be in about, I gotta do the maths here, about 50 minutes time. And I don't know whether there's going to be a Tier 2 stream or not, but it'll be also 50 minutes time, and also Tier 4 will be at the exact same time as well, but obviously there won't be no live stream because obviously I'm filling in for Smeg in Tier 1. So hopefully I'll be back with those lads next week, and we'll be heading to Monaco, which will be interesting to say the least. You never know what can happen as he goes a little bit wide coming through the Spoon curve. You can just see it in the background there. So this battle at the front is just starting to heat up a little bit. They actually just pulled away from that other Merc who's holding up Ash by the looks of things in position 4. So I don't really know where to look here as Chubosaurus Rex putting a bit of pressure on TCF Old Boy. They get nice and cautiously through turn through the, what's the number is that? Turn 15, but better known as 130R. See back here as Ash just putting a bit of pressure on Pup Steve, so a lot of battles going right, left and centre. And we go into turn 1. They're going to sustain as it is, and Ash I think's just dropped a little bit away from Pup Steve, so probably didn't get the run he would have liked through the Casio triangle. He'll have to bide his time here and maybe find another spot to get a move done here, but on this group here at the front. Just covered by a second, really. It's nothing between these guys. It just goes out to a second, as I said it, with Chubosaurus Rex in third. Chubosaurus Rex probably doesn't need to do anything too silly here. He knows that his two nearest championship rivals are not here. He just probably needs to just think about it on a championship perspective. Just he doesn't feel he's up for maybe a second or the race win. Just get some consistent points and then continue on to the next one, obviously, which will be Monaco's. MJJ's in the lane for another set of intermediates. I don't know if we would have got a new front wing or not, but Rip the Beans actually using a bit of ERS here on this straight. Or sort of this back straight, I should say. or one of the back straights, I should say. There's plenty of straights around here. So you looked at TCF Old Boy just clawing that margin back a little bit through spoon curve. As you now use a bit of ERS. Got a little bit touch more compared to Rip the Beans. He's just hanging on here. Look at how close he is now coming into spoon. Goes to Casio Triangle. Is he going to go for a move? He thinks about it, but thinks better of it. Probably better to turn the ERS off. Yep, he did it at the end through the corner. So if you get the better drive out of here, you can have an opportunity going down into turn 1. Gets right up to the back, but I don't know if he's going to be close enough for a move. As I don't think he's going to try it unless there's an error. But no, not quite. Just see it there through the foreground, as I think WA Hutton's got into the McLaren sandwich now. So I say that sticks into the lane and gets himself a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So it's 80 Ks, I think, for the pit lane speed limit as he gets a new set of intermediates, and away he goes. Let's go back to this battle up the front here. Probably would not surprise me, like I mentioned earlier, if somebody goes for an undercut here to just try to get an advantage while they've got it. So it's literally 0.4 of a second now between Rip the Beans and TCF Old Boy. Chupasaurus Rex just dropped away a little bit for the time being, as this battle for 4th is still heating up as well, with Ash there in 5th, and Lunacy is not too far behind in this group as well. So this could be another 3-way fight here for 4th, 5th and 6th, as well as the fight for 1st, 2nd and 3rd on the racetrack. MJJ gets a 3-second time penalty. It's the 3rd driver, I think, this race. Flying out of the spoon curve. Can't seem to quite get the drive. There's TCF Old Boy there in the Haas, but get a nice run coming through here. He's still using a bit of overtake here, as you can tell the difference between these two guys here at the front. Well, actually make that the top 3, I should say, because you can tell these two behind. TCF Old Boy, Chupasaurus Rex got a little bit more ERS compared to Rip the Beans. He's just using it a little bit more here. Don't want to use it up too much, obviously, but gets a much better drive out of there. And obviously now half a second gap between he and TCF Old Boy. There's the next group. Pup Stiff there in 4th. So the other Merc there doing his job at the moment in 4th, ahead of Ash in 5th, and Lunacy just dropped away a little bit in 6th. There's Honest Crook in 10th. Slowly but surely starting to catch up to the back of Garlaz for 9th. Of course, I think he's doing double duty again tonight, both Tier 3 and Tier 4. It's a little bit closer coming through here. It gets a little bit sideways there. You saw it on that Alfa Romeo. You get a better drive out of here. Might think about it as a little bit sideways, but doesn't quite have the better drive in the end, does Honest Crook, but he'll push on. Much better run through there, but so we can keep an eye on there for position 10 and 9 and 10. This group here is still pretty much staying same as always. TCF Old Boy. Don't want to use too much ERS down the, well, when you get on the power, obviously you don't want to spin up the rears. Chupasaurus Rex is just trying to keep in that window as well. Take it nice and cautiously through 130R. Obviously, it's usually flat in the dry, but not quite flat in the wet. So, got to take it nice and cautiously, otherwise you'll end up in the wall, which is never a good sign. On the 0.4 now between these two. So we begin lap 12. We're getting closer to that pit window, I think, for the one stop, which I think is around 13 or 14, to make the one stop happen to get to the end of this race. These two are still close to each other here, but it's not really too much of a passing spot around here unless you get a good run coming up the Dunlop curve and into maybe the Degners, and it may be the hairpin, but there's not many other opportunities. Here's WA Hunters now in the lane for another set of intermediates. Surprised those guys are pitting early, although they might have to do a 2-stop, you never know, unless something else saying that there's weather, the weather's going to dry up or what, who knows. But this group's starting to get a little bit closer now once again. So Chupasaurus Rex was just fading away a little bit, but now it's come back into this. So there's pretty much nothing between these three at the moment. The only difference obviously being TCF Old Boy got that 3-second time penalty, which he'll be probably livid with himself later on if it maybe costs him a race victory. Now the spoon curve. Get a much better drive. You can again see the difference between the ERS and the top three. The leader's probably using a little bit more just so he can have a little bit of a margin there. If he doesn't come under attack, he just slots back to 7th gear then. And there's the next group, obviously, with Pump Stiff. He just pulled away from Ash, but Ash is just slowly but surely coming back into it. Here we go. Race leader is in. So he's pitted early here, and Ash follows. Does he get held up too much by the racing point? Probably not too much there. So another set of intermediates for him. There the same can be said for Ash. This is a yellow flag. Safety car has been deployed. That is power side, I think, has crashed out. And now the safety car has been brought out. So that was literally perfect timing for Rip the Beans and for Ash as well. So, although saying that, we'll probably have to wait and see how this works out. As penalties galore happening for driving under the, speeding under the safety car. I think MJJ was one. I think we just missed out where power side crashed, but it looked like just past 130R where he crashed out. So his teammates now going to take advantage of this. So let me just see. So it was MJJ and Artie Chengs that got the drive-through penalty. So they'll have to serve it once we go back green flag racing. That's what you just got to be careful of. If you exceed your delta time, then it'll cost you big time. As MJJ looked like he got a little bit sideways there coming into the pit lane. But he makes his way now, so this is going to help him out big time. And all the other guys that got caught out with spinning earlier. Probably could say we give you said for a bit Stig and WA Huddens, although I don't know why he's back here in 12th. Looked like it was a long pit stop there. Not exactly sure why. So where is that? Rip the Beans, he's 9th, and Ash is in 10th at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out, because TCF Old Boy and Chubbasaurus Rex, their pit garages are near the end of pit lane, I believe. Well, Williams is definitely, and I think Haas is there, so they'll have to come in now with the safety car, make sure they slow it down under the safety car, and obviously get their pit lane speed limiters engaged. Look how close this is as Pump Stiff in, get another set of intermediates. Lunacy also in, so let's see how this works out. Stop from the Haas boys. Where's Chubbasaurus Rex? He'll leave the lane as well. I think they've pretty much come out similar. Now, where's Rip the Beans here? This may cost him here. It actually has cost him. Look at that margin. He's lost out, so that's poor timing by the looks of things. Although saying that, he's going to come out behind his teammates. Well, what maybe I thought that was good timing. Has actually turned out bad, because now Rip the Beans has gone from the race lead to 4th. Don't slam into your teammate, please. It's the last thing you need. But this has worked out so well for TCF Old Boy, who now has fresh air in front of him. And Chubbasaurus Rex as well. He's out into 2nd spot. Honest crook. You do realise we're under safety car here, lads, so I don't know about that one. Unless there was an error somewhere along the line and had to give the spot back, I'm not sure, but interesting, that one. Might have just got ahead of him there. It might have been WA Huddens, may have just been trying to give him the spot back, maybe, I don't know, but we'll be probably waiting a little while for the Stig and MJJ to catch back up to the safety car, so we may have a bit of a lap, maybe another lap under safety car potentially, so now this spices things up a little bit more here. So there'll obviously be a 1-lap difference for Rip the Beans and Ash, and probably a few others that pitted maybe under that safety car or even before. As you see, the WA Huddens looks like, I think he may have done a lap more than the other guys, so while we're on the safety car here, I might just grab a quick drink and be back shortly. Alright, we're back after a little bit of a refreshment. I was contemplating whether I go for a toilet break, but I might do that after this race finishes, or if we get another safety car, then I might consider doing that, considering I'm doing double duty. But now it's TCF Old Boy, so I think hopefully we should get the safety car in this lap. It actually might not go away till the end of Sector 2, which of course is pretty much at not quite from 130R. Actually, so quite of a short time frame between getting from Sector 2 to, to the pit lane, obviously. Because TCF Old Boy will have control of this field. Will we go lights out here? Maybe not. I thought we would have. Unless it goes late. It wouldn't surprise me. Safety car usually can go late sometimes, but nope, looks like we're going another lap here. Burnt Minelander thinks obviously we must go another lap, which is surprising considering I think everybody caught up. So, oh well, we'll carry on for one more lap here. Actually, you know what, bugger it, I'll take a quick toilet break. We'll be back short. Alright, we're back. A bit more refreshed now after that toilet break. So, let me know, guys and girls, in the live chat down below. Who do you reckon will win this race? Can Rip the Beans make his way back up through the field? He led majority of the race until the pit stop, obviously, which has pretty much ruined him under the safety car. Can TCF Old Boy build up the 3-second gap he needs to take the race win, or can Chupasaurus Rex, championship leader, extend his championship lead? Well, his other two rivals were not here. So hopefully we don't get any time penalties under this safety car. Hopefully we don't get too many people slamming into the rear end there. Hopefully that wasn't the case, but so we'll go green flag racing in a matter of seconds. Here we go. Green flag underway as Artie Chang's back into the pit lane already. So he must have picked up some damage somewhere on the restart, but now Chupasaurus Rex. Oh, TCF Old Boy goes wide, gets another 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to help his cause here. He's under a lot of pressure here from Chupasaurus Rex, who looks like he's got the gap at the moment. There's the two alphas battling away. Garlaz and Johnny have switched positions, so Garlaz gets that upper hand at the moment. The Alfa Romeo, P7 now. Let's look at this battle here up the front here. It's still pushing on. Oh, that's right. I forgot Artie Shanks has served that drive-through penalty. I forgot about that. So, and MJJ, I think, has got to serve his drive-through penalty. So good thinking there. As Papa Stiff gets another gets his first 3-second time penalty of the race. It's all happened here under the safety car restart. No crashes or anything, but that probably is a good thing. But now he's just starting to pull away. Has TCF Old Boy over a second now over Chupasaurus Rex. Want to take good advantage of these tyres as Ash has now got by. Oh, that'll be why, because Rip the Beans is off the road. He's made a big error somewhere along the line, and he's now retired from the race. Oh, what a shame. Hopefully this does not bring out a safety car, but oh, what a shame after leading the race for majority, well, pretty much nearly half race distance, and now just all gone wrong for our pole sitter. Hopefully he doesn't have any collisions. Hopefully there's ghosting on. I'm not actually sure there is. Lunacy now on a 3-second time penalty. It's TCF Oldboy now, so it's a 39.777. There'll be yellows in Sector 2, obviously, but hopefully we don't get a safety car. So if we do get a safety car, maybe some stuff afterwards. We'll wait and see. But 0.7 of a second is the gap. It looks like we're going green for the rest of this race. As I think MJJ is just serving his drive-through penalty, so he'll drop back to 12th now once Artie goes by. There he goes. So Artie, those guys are now done their drive-through penalties, so pretty much clean, except if anybody else gets some penalties later on. But now this is opened up now for TCF Oldboy, although he's got to build a 6-second margin of a Chubosaurus Rex. Because if he just stay with it under 6 seconds, and he's in a good chance of taking the race victory. That'll be a full-on 25 points, I think, from memory. That's not what I wanted on my phone. But Pump Stiff now in third. Looking for the other one. Just looking through the Tier 3 chat as well. I'm just trying to find the point system as well. Rip the Beans doesn't look too thrilled with the Delta and Honest Crook. So there might be some stuff happening later on. We'll wait and see. But got to remember to take a picture of this. So obviously the gap at the moment in the championship is 1 point between Chubosaurus Rex and Spec, as TCF Oldboy gets a 38.955. So it looks like he's got pace at the moment, and he needs to make it while he's got the opportunity. There's not many times running out here at the moment to build that 6-second margin he needs to take the overall race victory. Over Chubosaurus Rex in second, who's looking on track to maybe take the race victory on penalties. Then Putler Stiff there in third, and Ash there in fourth, just not too far behind. Lunacy there in position 5. The Renault. Garlas leading the Alfa Romeo bunch in 6th now. Johnny in 7th, who's under attack from the other Alpha Tauri of Honest Crook. Just making his way slowly up through the field now. WA Hardens is in 9th, and Stigbrand's at year 10. And P11 is Artie Chengs and MJJ, who of course both served their drive-through penalties. Jedi ran. I apologise if I've stuffed that one up. I'm keen to join. Well, if you want to come join the Race Spec leagues, obviously there's only a couple of races left, so I'm not really too sure if there'll be spots available or what, but depending on what region you're from, because we've got Pacific, Euro and Americas series on, obviously, on the Tuesday nights, and we've got the RS F1 leagues on the Sunday nights as well, which is basically everybody in one go. So, but if you want to come and join, there's a link down below in the description to join the Discord. So if you want to come and join for maybe the last couple of races, or come and join and get prepared for FY 2021, you can. As look at this, Pumper Stiff and Ash is side by side going through the Casio Triangle as he just hangs on as TCF Oldboy improves to the 38.853. Who's literally pushing him right to the limit there. Like a very close battle back in the 1990s between Senna and Prost. And that's brought Lunacy back into this as well. But don't obviously count out Lunacy, because he will gain some good points here if he can build that gap, of course. He will gain some points back in this championship. Probably can say the same for Pump Steve, because he's still mathematically in this. Considering there's only 70, what are we at? After this one, there'll be 50, God, I've got to remember my maths here. So it's 52 points if you count the fastest lap of the race, I think, from memory. So after this one, so if you keep within that 52 point margin, they're still mathematically in with a chance, and who knows what could happen to Mick. So anything is possible here. You can see plenty of crashes and whatnot, or weather, different strategies. People getting held up, probably like what is normally the thing in real life, although saying that, we haven't been to Monaco for a year at least. I think, yeah, since 2019 actually. So So he didn't go last year because of the COVID pandemic. Honest Crook now 3-second time penalty. Currently chasing down Johnny for 7th. So Rip the Beans just leaves the session. But yeah, if you do want to come join the league, there's a link down in the description below for the Discord. As Papa Steve's out of the race. He's crashed out at the exit of in between 130R and the Casio Triangle. So that's a big crash there. I was missing that because I was focusing on all the other stuff going on in the background, but hopefully I might be dropping a few frames. His virtual safety car has been deployed. I'm just trying to see. Oh, we've just missed it, I think, but you might have just seen it there. He must have just made an error coming through 130R there, and he's just lost it. And now both Mercs are out of this race after, well, 1-2 last week. They've now gone the other way. Both DNFing out of this race as someone got a drive-through penalty for speeding under virtual safety car. Never a good sign, I'll say that. But I do apologise as well if there's dropped frames or buffering going on for you guys, but it's the best I can do. So now, Lunacy has actually got past Ash there for 3rd, so might have taken advantage of that under the virtual safety car. So now Lunacy's up into 3rd spot now. Okay, pretty much forget what I said because I think I put the commentator's curse on Papa Stiff there, so I apologise. But as he now leaves the session, Lunacy runs very wide here. This is going to be interesting, side by side. Coming through turn 12, into the spoon curve. Oh, it's tight, but Ash just gets the momentum and gets up into 3rd spot here. Just, that was close there between those two. Usually in the dry it can work, but I wasn't sure if it could in the wet, but it does. So he gets up into 3rd onto the podium now for Ash in the racing points. He's doing the racing points proud at the moment, considering, like I said, Smeg is not racing tonight. Hopefully he's back with us and said for a Scooter Matata next week at Monaco. 0.8 of a second between those two, and keep an eye on this Alfa Romeo battle. Into team fighting going on here. One is technically in the championship racing in this series. Obviously the other one is racing in Tier 4, but probably may make the jump up to Tier 3 next season in F1 2021. You never know. So we'll have to wait and see. And I believe that might have been Artie Cheng's that possibly got the drive-through penalty for speeding under virtual safety car. Let me just double check here. Yes, it was. So he's got another one. So they'll be sick of it at this point in time. So Kick Butt and James, who were predicting that Honest Crook would come through, I'd be really doubting it now at this moment of time. So he's not had the greatest of days in 10th at the moment. He'll drop back to 11th, obviously. There's everyone's time penalties. Gala's got a 5-second penalty. Is that for speeding in the pit lane? Let me just have a look through his graphic. Probably should turn the volume off in the background there. That's not what you want to hear, but that must have been... I need to look at incidents here very quickly. Come on, scroll down. Stig got a 5-second penalty, I know that. Severe collision with... with Artie Cheng, so that will explain a lot. So that might get removed later on, as Stig gets another 3-second time penalty as well. Marge has just pulled out a little bit more. 3.5 seconds now. As what's going on here with the Alphas? They've switched around as Johnny's now got past on the straight before 130R. One of the back straights up into 5th place now. Don't use ERS through the corners. I would not recommend it. Obviously it works for him, so he gets up in the 5th spot now. You don't want to really burn up too much. Well, considering your teammates got a lot more compared to yourself here. He's saving it up. Honest Crook was closing in, but not really quite close enough here at the moment. So that's where we stand with the penalty situation. A few guys with 3 seconds. Obviously the 5 seconds for Garlas. Drive through for Artie Cheng's, who's still got to serve it. So I think he'll probably serve it next lap, I would think. I think he's got a 5-second penalty up his sleeve, and 6 seconds to TCF Old Boy. He's nearly got that margin out to 6 seconds. It's 4.5 seconds now, so looks like he's got the pace at the moment here in the Haas car. And he might have had the pace earlier on when he was stuck behind Rip the Beans, but now he's really showing his pace. Well, he's got fresh air. WA Hudders now joins the club with 3-second time penalties. So there's not many drivers left that have got 0 penalties. Only 2 left, the Chaposaurus Rex and Ash. At the current moment, there's where they are with the stops, obviously. And it doesn't really matter too much. There's the movers and shakers up the field, so Actually, Honest Crooks and Galas are up 7 spots apiece. Jumbosaurus Rex up 5 spots. And then what else we got? Stig up 3, 2 each for TCF Old Boy and for Ash, and 1 apiece for Johnny and for WA Huddens. Biggest loser, obviously, is the pole sitter, Rip the Beans, down 12 spots. Starting from pole and obviously DNFing. Or actually retiring, probably rage quitting after that. And then his teammate Pop Stiff down 10 spots. And then obviously Power Sight 3, Artie Cheng's down 2. It'll probably become 3 once he does his drive-through, and MJ down 1. But that'll probably be normal now. And Lunacy's the only one that's pretty much stayed as he is. The only closest battle we've got going is pretty much the Alphas. It's the two Alpha Romeos and the one Alpha Tauri of Honest Crook, who's up here with fighting with these guys. It's now Artie Cheng's is now serving his drive-through penalty. Hopefully that'll be the last one he gets for this race. Well, keep an eye on that front gap at the moment as well. Keep an eye on that margin, because like I said, if he's under 6 seconds as Jumbosaurus Rex, and he's in with a shot of winning this race. If he keeps that in with just only 3.5 laps to go here. Honest Crook now is the only closest one here, although saying that, I think Johnny just made a little error there coming out of the second Degner. And also, if you want to come follow the, well, I got the opportunity, you want to come follow the social media channels, they're down in the description as well. Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. If you want a bit more detail, I might have an updated link as well, I don't know. But want to keep up to date with what's going on in the Race Spec world, that's the place to be. So, like I said, there's a Discord link in the description if you want to come join. Obviously, there's only a couple of more races left of the season to go. And then, obviously, if you want to get yourself prepared for 2021, it's obviously coming out in July, I'm pretty sure, middle of July. So, but obviously league racing, well, I don't know whether it'll be August or September, who knows, depends on how good or crap the game is online. So, like always, I'm probably more focused on the career and my team mode like they usually do. So, 3 laps to go here, 4.8 seconds the margin here. So, trying everything he can to TCF Old Boy to build that margin out to 6 seconds. He's nearly got it there. He's nearly up to 5 seconds, but it's just sort of toing and froing a little bit here. Again, that probably might be down to setup base as well. Ash looking comfortable in position 3. This might be his first podium, if I'm not mistaken. So, we'll wait and see on that one. Lunacy currently in 4th. I think he'll stay in position 4 as well, considering other guys behind have got penalties. Only driver we might see move back down is probably Galas, who's currently 6th, obviously with that 5-second penalty. Again, he could get that one removed later on post-race if he wants to, so we'll wait and see. But obviously, I think he's keeping his more focus, his eyes focused on Tier 4 rather than Tier 3, because I think, remember, he's still fighting for 2nd in the championship, and his teammate, and that's in Tier 4, Hold Up Man Dan, is on a 2-race winning streak, so he'll be looking for a hat-trick of wins later on. So Honest Crook just slowly but surely just getting there slowly, although WA Huddens is not too far behind here as well, so he's just keeping in that hunt for this group. This is probably one of the closest fights we've got here on track, because it's just toing and froing. It's with 2 laps to go here, 4.9 seconds. As WA Huddens is in the wall. Another one that's in the same spot, pretty much where Pump Stiff was. He was just so close from home, and now he's just binned it by the looks of things. Maybe either ran it wide or coming through 130R, the exit of 130R, or just got the curb, entry curb through 130R as well. So there goes a top 8 for WA Huddens. Of all of this, would you have thought that Artie Cheng's would get a top 10? I don't think he would have thought either, but he's looking likely at the moment to get a top 10 result. Obviously, if all 14 drivers had finished the race, they'd all would have scored points, because top 15 drivers in this league, in the Race Spec leagues, obviously score points. From 16, if you have the full 20 drivers, only, like I said, the top 15 will finish top 15 will get points. But anybody who sets the fastest lap, if you had all 20 drivers, anybody who gets the fastest lap gets to keep that bonus point. So it's just something a little bit different this year. It's 5.5 seconds now, so he's really pushing on. Jumpasaurus Rex is giving it his absolute all here. As he goes purple in the middle sector here is TCF Old Boy. He's literally pushing here, and the same can be said for Jumpasaurus Rex, so he's trying to break it out to 6 seconds even here. If he can do it, then he's on track for the win. 1 lap to go as he sets the fastest lap of the race. On lap 26, 1:38.246. It's toing and froing, 5.8 seconds. Where's this battle group at with Honest Crook? Would have had 3 earlier on, but now WA Harden's obviously DNFing out of this race. Now Honest Crook be trying to push off for 6, sorry. But at this rate, he might get, actually he will get 6th spot even after penalties. Well, I mean, depending on what Garlas does afterwards, so it'll just be a switch around, I think, would be between these two. But will there be a switch around at the top? Because it's just in that window, isn't it? Nearly just so close. You can just feel it. He's getting really close for that victory. Les Jumpasaurus Rex makes a monumental error. He's still on track for this race victory. But it's just toing and froing. Who's got the better setup-wise? They'd be both giving it their absolute all here to the line. So you can see the red fuel lights actually flashing for TCF Old Boy, so hopefully he's got enough fuel up his sleeve for later on. Stick gets another 3-second time penalty, but he should be comfortable for position 8. Look at it, it's just toing and froing, isn't it? They have to absolutely burn everything they've got up their sleeve to see who may win this race. Had to fly it through 130R to see who can get through there cleanly. They're coming across the line. It's going to be TCF Old Boy who will win the race on track, but does he have enough gap? I think he may have enough gap here. We'll wait and see. Is he trying? Jumpasaurus Rex, it looked like a little error. He'll just hang on. Will TCF Old Boy for the race victory. What an entertaining race that was to finish up. Ash will finish up on the podium as well, so great job from him. But look at the top 2. They gave it their absolute all. And in the end, it finishes up only half a second between these guys. So all that pushing really worked in the end. And obviously, TCF Old Boy will get that extra bonus point for the fastest lap of the race as well. We'll just wait on our final 2 runners to fit it across the line here in 9th and 10th. So we see MJJ coming in 9th place. Hopefully we can actually see the final race results here. Hopefully nobody, all these guys don't leave before the final. Here comes Artie Chengs. Like I said earlier, if you thought he would get a top 10, he probably would think he'd be kidding yourself, but he finishes up inside the top 10. Oh, that was an entertaining race. Right to the end, you didn't know who was going to win that one, did you? Honest Crook gets the driver of the day, so big well done to him. Obviously, coming from pretty much last in the grid after his disqualification in qualifying earlier on. But there you go. There's the podium. TCF Old Boy just did enough in the end to hold off the charge of Jumpasaurus Rex. As there's 2 Brendan Lees on the podium here. They both look weird in Williamson Racing Point gear. I know, obviously, Brendan Lee did obviously drive for Mercedes in the F1 Esports, obviously the last few years, but now he's joined Ferrari. So just looking at his character looks weird and all the other stuff anyway, but hopefully we can get the final race results there. So there you go. TCF Old Boy started from obviously position 3, but gets the race victory and the fastest up the race for boot, so he'll get 26 points there. Jumpasaurus Rex, he tried everything to get to there in the end, but just fell short by half a second. They're in 2nd place, but still gets some consistent points to extend his championship lead even further to, well, it's 20 points for 2nd place, so he'll extend it to 21 points going into Monaco. Ash up in 3rd, Lunacy in 4th, Johnny 5th, Honest Crook gets 6th, obviously he started from 14th, Garlas in 7th, whether he gets the 5-second remove, we'll wait and see. He might get 5th there, we'll never know. Stig in 8th, MJJ in 9th, and Alpha, the Artie Chengs rounds out get 10, and then the 4 DNFers were WA Huddens. Well, actually, WA Huddens may get classified because he might have finished 90% of the race, but he gets 11th. Pup Steve in 12th. Obviously, with then Pup Steve, Rip the Beans, and Power Sight were the 3 DNFers from this race. Just making sure the microphone was still going there for a second, but it is. But Yeah, there we go, guys and girls, as we'll go to the ending screen right now because I have to make a quick dash very shortly to Tier 1. So hopefully you enjoyed all the stream and that entertaining battle right to the end there. So give it a big smash on that like button if you enjoyed the live stream, and subscribe to the Race Spec Esports channel if you haven't already. And if you, like I said, so all the social media channels will be down in the description for Race Spec, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you want to come and, also if you want to come and join the league as well, there's a Discord link down in the description below. If it doesn't work, then go check out the other ones on the other social medias that might work a little bit better, but we'll see. But if you want to maybe come follow me on my social media channels, they're down in the description below. But yeah, other than that, I'll be back in about 10 minutes time for Tier 1. So be sure to tune in for that one, because that championship is still alive as far as I'm aware. I'll have to get the upstairs standings very quickly before we get going. But yeah, other than that, hopefully all the Tier 4 guys go well. And I hope there's going to be a Tier 2 stream as well. So if there isn't, well, it's probably just going to be me. So yeah, be sure to tune in very shortly. But for now, it is goodbye.